Hey, welcome to 3DHP. The forge has arrived. We'll get into it right after this. Welcome back, guys. I reached out to Peopoly about reviewing their forge. They got back with me. They said they liked my channel, what I was doing, and they were more than happy to send me out their new machine to check out. Well, it's not new. It's been out for, I don't know, about a year now, but this will be my largest resin printer that I have to date, and it was amazing. It was fun building it and putting it together. It came in two very large boxes, very well packed in foam, and it was a box inside of a box, so there were double thickness on both the boxes. And I got that, I think it was yesterday, and I got it put together last night, and I've got a lot of footage here. Instead of doing a time lapse or doing a build, I took pictures basically, and I'll play a little bit of music and we'll go through it and I'll show you what I did, and we'll talk about the machine. But opening up the door here, it's got a magnetic catch on the door. The build volume, it's 288 by 162 by 350 millimeters. The LCD panel is 5760 by 3240. It's got a 6K screen on it. The pixel pitch is 50 UM. High contrast, 500 nit. The UV light power is 60 watts. The printer size is 47 by 36 by 64 centimeters. The vat volume, 1.8 kilograms. And the panels on the side and going all the way around is metal and acrylic. And the physical weight is about, oh, I don't know, 30 kilograms, I believe, which is about 66 pounds is what it weighs. It has a heated vat. This aluminum vat has a plug right here that you simply take the USB cord, you pop out this little connector here on the side, and if you choose to heat up your resin, if you're in a colder environment, you can simply run the cord in and plug it into the vat, which is right there somewhere. I got it upside down. There we go. Then it's got a temperature control. A separate box. Why this isn't mounted in the unit, I don't know. The only way I can think is because it's such a great deal for what price it is, and Peopoly is known for their very large resin printers. They were trying to cut whatever corners they could to try to save money in building this, but still giving the user the best possible experience with the largest resin printer. So if they would have mounted this box in the case, maybe there would have been a little more money involved. And then there might be people out there that don't even want to heat their vat and wouldn't need this, so that's probably why it's extra. But it tells you what temperature it is and what temperature you can set it to. I'll have to get more into that and how that works. Let me unplug that for now. And these acrylic panels, they have like an aluminum sheeting on the outside and inside. There's a real thin layer of aluminum on both sides on all the acrylic panels. Put that plug back in. And then when I leveled the vat, on most resin printers you put down a piece of paper, you loosen up the 4 screws or whatever they have on the build plate, you home it, hold down the plate, tighten them up, pull out the paper. But on this vat, it had me leveled directly on the screen. So I leveled directly on the screen. As the PDF online said, it comes on the SD card and online. It had to level it. I went to put a paper in. It was really tight trying to get a paper under it. So when I went to the screen, I raised it up 1 millimeter. Then I could get it in and out of there like I wanted. And then I saved it for homing. I haven't done a test print yet, but I'm going to get that going in a minute. On the inside, I'll show you a picture here on the screen. It's got a Wi-Fi camera in the back that's hooked up to it for filming what's going on. Let's see, it appears to have a ball screw. That doesn't look like a lead screw, but it looks like a ball screw. And let's see, a dual linear rails. Very nice. The build volume on the vat is very large. It's got a very large vat, or a build plate. And it's also tapered on 2 sides, that way resin can run off much easier. I kind of wish it had a taper on these 2 ends also, that way all resin can run off. It may puddle here just a little bit, but at least it will run off mostly on the sides. And then you can simply take your little plastic spatula when you're done with your print, and you can drag it off and it'll drain back down in the vat. They recommend when you're setting this up, and you clean the protective covering that's on the screen, is use like 91% IPA. They don't want you to use Windex because it might leave a film on it, which might affect your print. So once I got all this set up, I took a little 91% alcohol, put on a microfiber towel that I had, and I cleaned it real well, let it dry before I put the vat in. When you put the vat in, now one thing about the vat, I wish it had little nubs underneath each corner, so when you set the vat up down on a table, you're not setting the vat directly on whatever might be on the build surface. Something could puncture it, or you see it stuck to it. So you might want to get a couple little blocks, print out a couple little parts, any little thing to put on the sides to set the vat on that so it keeps it up off the ground. It has two wing nuts here that you simply put in hand tight. It has a backer plate in the back, so when you put the vat in, it hits that. There's two little divots in the aluminum. You simply screw these two wing nuts down in snug, hand tight, don't over tighten them, and you're good to go. The vat inside is tapered, and so I'd just trying it out, I would say fill no resin any higher than that taper, maybe slightly above it. That way you get to know when the vat goes down how much it's going to overfill. If you automatically take your vat and fill it way up near the top, the vat comes down, submerges itself, then it's going to spill and run everywhere. So it's better to have not enough resin than too much resin. You can always add more once you learn or realize how much resin you can put in it. This vat does not have a mark that shows you the maximum fill, so you have to kind of figure that out. And when you go to strain your resin, you would simply remove your wing nuts. It has a slot back here in one corner, which is designed to make it easier to pour, so you can strain it with the filters. It came with a scraper, with a plastic spatula for cleaning the fat when you're dragging out the resin. I prefer a silicone spatula. It works better. I'll show you one of those before we get done with the video. And yeah, I guess we're ready to start printing. As far as for cosmetics, this piece of aluminum is it has a corner, and there's two places here that were pre-drilled. I'll take a black Sharpie and probably cover those just so it's not so obvious. There isn't really room for a plug because when you close the door, it's magnetically attached and it would prop up a little bit, so there may not have been room. So personally, instead of putting a plug on it that I might have laying around, I'm going to just color that with a Sharpie. That way it's not so obvious. But it has a nice acrylic panel. Yeah, the power is on the side, on the right side here to turn the screen on and off. The power plug's in there. Looks like your USB plugs in right here. It does have Wi-Fi hooked up on this, and a friend of mine, Walton Harris, which has two of these units, said he loves the Wi-Fi feature, transferring files from his computer to it. I haven't done that yet, but I'll definitely do that. On my other resin printers in the past, I'd always put everything on a USB stick, plug them into the printer, and then I'd start printing. But I'm definitely going to try out the Wi-Fi on this. And on the back, there's nothing on the back other than the stickers. But like I say, yeah, it's an awesome looking machine. Let's get some resin in it. Let's do a test print and see how it comes out. And they do have their own slicer that they came out with, but and they also recommend you use lychee. Now, as you guys know, if you've been following me, I just tried lychee the other day for the first time. I've been using Cheetah Box for years, but this is recommended to use lychee. It works great with this printer, so I'm a lychee guy now. So I'm going to be trying lychee, and all the stuff I've seen in the software, it looks amazing. It's got a lot of really cool features that I've never even seen in Cheetah Box before. So I'm learning lychee at this time, and we'll be running lychee when we do the test prints. And I got some resin I'm working with here. I'm testing out some JAMG resin. Company out of China. This is their 10K resin. I forget the color. I've got their standard plus resin, and then I've got some engineering art resin that I'll be working with. And we'll be testing it out on this machine and see how it works. Okay, today we've got JAMG resin, or 10K standard plus resin. This is a big bottle. And let's see, some filters, gloves, another filter in the box, USB flash drive. I forget what this is for, I'll put it on the screen. Very roll package, inspected bubble paper. And inside that is sealed in another bag. This is their Nebula Gray. Very dark color, very nice, dark gray. $10K Nebula Gray. Very cool. Be sure you shake up your resin really good for, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. Mix it up really good. Underneath the cap, we'll have another silver safety cap. Just take a knife or something, you can cut that real easily. That way you can start using your resin. But let's get on to the next print. But yes, so far it's been printing great for me. The GK2 8K has been perfect. And now I got it in the Peopoly Forge 6K. It's been printing beautifully. Beautifully. It says LCD RGB. Bottom exposure. It's got exposure times for RGB monochrome and DLP printers. Written right on the box. I'm using Lychee Slicer for the last few days now. I've been a Cheetah Box person for years. I've moved over to Lychee. Loving it. And as far as for settings, JAMG was not in there for one of the companies to pick resin settings, so I picked Elegoo. And so far, the Elegoo settings on the resin have been perfect. Just perfect. Here's all my test prints, little cubes. They came out really good. Letting them dry there. I pre-cleaned them in a mean green / Zep all-purpose cleaner, and then I cleaned them with IPA really well. But now I've got to figure out where to run my Resin Lapse cord into it. I have to hook up the camera, get it working, and I got to get the Wi-Fi working. But for now, I'm going to start the next print, which will be the base of Cyclops and Nebula Gray. I'm currently working on from JAMG Nebula Gray 10K resin that I'm working with right here. So files are loaded up and we get started, and we'll try it out, see how it goes. Took 16 hours, 39 minutes. That's the base for Cyclops from Wicked. And then once I get that off, I'll put it on my portable table here since I ran out of room rearranging. I'll pre-wash it over here. Here we go, now it's done. And once I pre-wash it, I'll throw it in my IPA and get it cleaned up really good. Very quiet moving up. And with the door shut, about the same. Very cool. Yeah, since I rearranged my room here, I've got my Anacubic and washing care over there, the Uniformation GK2, then the Peopoly Forge, and then I have my ultrasonic cleaner right there. And I was using mean green in it, but I couldn't find it at Lowe's, so I bought some Zep, mixed with some water, and I put that Zep in it. That way I can pre-rinse a lot of the resin out of the inside of the model before I put it in my IPA, because I don't want to destroy the IPA so quick. It's nice and heavy. Oh, cool. Look at that. Quite the face. Alright, that ought to work. And trusty scraper here. There we go. Just that quick. Now I always use my blue shop towels. I just buy these in bulk wherever I can find them. Wipe that plate down real good. See all the supports new here. glasses back on. Always wear safety glasses. You don't want to get any resin in your eye or any supports or anything. And I've got medium supports on this. They're very dense. If you have trouble getting your supports off, you can always run them under warm water. Warm them up quite a bit, and that helps take them off quite a bit. Help remove them. Then we don't have to clip all of them. But yeah, which I think I'm going to do that. Run that under warm water. Try to get all those supports off. But yeah, looks good. Put that on my tray so I can carry it to where I've got my water station set up. Okay, here's the base of Cyclops. All done on the Peopoly forge with JAMG 10K Nebula Gray Resin. And it came out amazing. I rinsed it thoroughly in IPA. Just need to let it dry, and then I will take it out in the garage. I'll take my air compressor and I'll completely blow it out to get it completely dry on the inside. That way I can go ahead and cure it. And then I have little supports there I still got to get off. I'll take a pair of tweezers and my cutters and you know, needle nose pliers usually, and I pick all those out, get all those off. But that came out amazing. So now we got to get the camera set up. I'm going to check out the Wi-Fi, and we'll get on to the next print. So here we go. Wow, look at that. Amazing work by Phenom. And that's at 200% scale. It should come right off. Yeah, easy peasy. Okay, let's take a look at how these two came out. First off, we have all the test prints that were on the SD card. Now, I haven't cured these yet. They still have on supports. I probably won't, but it was just a test. And all the cubes came out great. And then the base on Cyclops. Like I say, I haven't cured this yet. I still have a lot of little bitty supports I have to get off. But whether it's 6K, 8K, it came out beautiful. I don't see a quality difference. The resin printed very, very nice on the forge. This is a beautiful work here. And this is by Wicked for my Cyclops. And then from Phenom, we have a Cheyenne. The original American, basically. And the base, I started to do it in resin last night when I was in bed. I started it in resin, I went to sleep, and I said, you know what, wait a minute, why am I wasting resin on a simple base? There we go. And so I wound up putting that on the Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon. I printed that out of PLA, because there's no reason to resin print a base, unless it's not detailed or something. But it slips right on there. Of course, I've got to get out more tiny supports, do a little cleaning up on it here and there, and then I'll be ready to prime it and get it painted. So, yeah, beautiful work, Photos, you rock, buddy. Amazing. Yeah, and the Peopoly Forge done a wonderful job printing this. Came out amazing. It's like 2 millimeters thick. And when you look at another print here, this is done on my GK2 8K resin printer. And the quality difference between 6K and 8K, I don't see any quality difference. And I'm so happy to have a big resin printer finally. So let's check out the website here real quick. And I believe at the time of taping, these are on sale right now. So whether you're a small business or a hobbyist, this might be the printer for you. But beautiful work. I look forward to doing many more videos on it. Let's go check out the website real quick. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful work. I'm loving it. Oh, and here we are at peopoly.net. At the time of taping, the forge is up to 35% off. Looks like it's $520 off the regular price of $14.99. It's now $9.79. That's an awesome price. See what it says about it here. Look through the specs. Yeah, voxel dance. That's their slicer that you can hook up the webcam with. But I've been using Lychee slicer. High contrast 6K monochrome screen. I didn't need to run the temperature control on the vat, but I do have it if I should need it. And I do not have the Wi-Fi set up on it yet. But it's got a nice camera right there in the back of it. MSLA 3D printing. Oh, and it also came with additional FEP, scraper, extra nuts and bolts when I assembled it. So yeah, I know when these came out, I don't know, about it maybe a year ago. I'm not sure exactly when it was they came out. I'm just guessing there, but they went on sale and they went off sale and they went on sale. And right now I've never seen them this low. It's a great deal. Excellent deal. So you might want to check them out at peopoly.net. I'll have a link in the description below. Well, if you stuck around to the end, thank you very much. It's been a long video, I know. I do that quite often, but please like, subscribe, and share. This is an amazing printer, and like I say, at the time of taping, it's on sale. You can get quite a good deal on it. So please check out peopoly.net. If you'd like to find out where this model came from, this is from Votus Mint. You can get on my mini factory. You can join his Patreon. It's a Cheyenne, original American Indian. And then I got the model here I'm working on another video from JAMG Resin. This is Wicked. It's a Cyclops model. This is the base to it. And this would not fit on my 8K. My GK2 would not fit in one piece, but on this one it did with no problem. So, though I plan on doing many more videos on this. I don't have any real negatives. I wish the vat had little nubs on the bottom, but the way it's designed, that wouldn't work out. So you can set it across the item to keep the VEP up. It's not a big deal that there's a couple little silver places here, you know, from the bracket, from the mounting on the corner, these little spots. You can, if you don't like it, you can take a Sharpie and color them. It doesn't hurt it. It's a tool. It's a machine. And here in my hobby room, and you know, it looks great. It's a great machine. Like I say, it came right out. Very well protected, shipped in 2 boxes. It was very fun putting together, very simple to put together, nothing difficult about it at all. So until the next video, please like, subscribe, share, and happy resin printing.